to talk to local real estate expert. Really, she is the Meryl Streep of realtors. It's the lovely, the talented Michelle Cummins. How you doing?
I love that intro. Can you do that every single week?
I can.
That's nice. You always have good intros.
I can work on that, and I can come up with a different one every week and, try to keep things interesting.
You know what? That would be fun. This week, I'm the Meryl Streep of real estate, and I'm looking forward to what I am next week.
Well, I don't know. Now the gauntlet's been thrown down, I have to get creative next week and see what I can come up with.
Your creative juices, keep them flowing.
How are you handling, working out of the home office here?
It's been amazing, actually. I'm shocked because somebody's trying to call me. Oh, one of my mortgage specialists. Okay, sorry, got to put them later.
Man, they're calling you early in the day. That's how busy you are.
It's true. We're all actually quite so busy. The real estate market still is busy. People still need to buy homes and sell homes when they're in need because roofs over our head is like food in our guts.
Well, I was explaining to my wife, actually, just the other night. She said, I'm surprised real estate's still so busy. I go, well, think about it. You sell your house 2 months ago, 3 months ago, and you have it as part of the conditions that, you have this much time to find a house. You might be getting near the end of that time. And you might
exactly. That's exactly it. Is you've already sold before all this happened, and a lot of a lot of those types of places are closed down and shut down. And I mean, where are you going to go? I mean, nobody likes moving twice, but we all have to kind of work within our parameters and with safety and what we're doing. But there is that need for a roof over your head, and so that's one of the major cases. But I'm shocked at how quickly, and I don't know if this is like this for other people, but it's like my days are going by faster than ever, faster than, when I have 10 to 15 appointments a day or whatnot, and I'm doing all this stuff on the computer and travel and this and that. It just seems like, I've only gone out one time with Richard for groceries, and then once to deliver in the last, I think, 12 days, and once for delivering baskets in vacant homes before my buyers moved into them, because I had 4 closings this last week, and they all went smoothly, by the way, so no delays in closing whatsoever. Land titles were good, lawyers, conveyancer, it all got done. But yeah, putting their baskets in their gifts for them in their homes. So it's to go by fast though. Getting lots done. We're revamping a lot of stuff like my Facebook page, and we've been working on. We started, Curtis. We're starting to upload our shows on my YouTube finally.
Oh,
yeah.
Another place to ingest the show. I love it.
Yes, and we're having it all transcribed, right, in case people aren't listening, but they could read. And, I figured, hey, why not? It should be on YouTube.
Wow, I tell you, at this rate, we're going to have to get a TV show.
Oh, yes, that's next. That's penciled in.
Well, then we won't have to worry about Chip and Joanne calling us. They'll want us to phone them.
That's right. Well, we'll be on their network as well. Maybe we'll cross borders, right? Do some cross-marketing.
Not for a while. We ain't crossing the border, but...
No. Virtually.
There we go. Actually, how's that now for you? Like, all your family is down south, so are you doing a lot of FaceTiming with family members right now?
How many million times have you heard the word this last week, Zoom?
Yeah.
Yeah, my family, we Zoomed yesterday evening at 5 o'clock. We all said, let's do a Zoom together. So we did that. And so we've been doing a lot of texting, not as much Facebook Live, but we decided to start Zooming. So I know my office, that's how we're communicating right now as well, is we're having Zoom meetings. And that's kind of how everyone's doing it nowadays. It's been great that way.
Yeah, I'm on 2 to 4 Skype. We have Skype in Rogers here, calls a day, doing these conference calls with people across the country. And it's amazing, seeing the inside of people's homes and stuff like this, and dogs interrupting, and things like that.
What's been wonderful is you really get to feel and know people even better when you see them in their home and, with their hair up in a bun, a man bun or woman bun, and they're in their, PJs or their pajamas, or they've got all business on top, but, fun or relaxing on the bottom, right? Sweats or something. It's really great. People are seems to be more natural in their home environment, and you get to know them a bit better.
That is very true, and it's you know what, it's been great to see everybody kind of pull together. I'm sure that in the real estate world, as much as it has been in the broadcast world, everybody's just kind of pulling together to make sure we can do our job and help our people the best way we can.
Yeah, and connecting with each other in even a better way. So I really feel like we're all going to, if we stay positive, come out of this better communicators, better friends, better neighbors, just better family members, better people, I think.
Well, here's a question for you, because we've been talking a lot about this and we really don't know yet, but you might have a better idea. How do you think, after all is said and done and we get back to somewhat normal, how do you think real estate is going to have changed as we move forward?
Oh, that is a good one. I think it's going to change quite a lot. I think, a lot of realtors sometimes, I won't say a lot. So most realtors will have their buyers pre-approved and will, know before they take them out and waste the seller's time and waste their time and waste their client's time and energy and emotions and everything showing properties without having them be pre-approved and go through, that kind of a pre-interview. But, I think this is really going to teach everyone to, you can do a lot more without, traveling so much and without doing a lot of things that we all thought was so important before. And I think it'll be easier to reach out to people more via video conferences and ways. But I think that's going to, I've done Matterport and drone video and cinematography walkthroughs, whether my property is $100,000 townhouse or whatnot, condo to the Taj Mahal. But, some pay for marketing depending on the price point of their listing. But I think if with all the right video and the right tools and having floor plans and having all the tools that we're using now, more realtors are using now to market their properties because they have to. That should be the norm, because the more information you get to the buyer previous to them stepping foot in the door, the better, more confident they are, the more serious of a buyer they are. Like, it's just kind of sifting through all the possible looky-loos to the serious buyers. So I don't know. I think it's going to change it that way. I think us realtors will do a lot better job with marketing materials and getting it out there online and having physical brochures and things, just more to hand out before they ever walk through the door.
Yeah, it would make sense. It's almost like this has forced everybody to kind of hit Control-Alt-Delete on their business and how they do things. And I think because of that, there's going to be some big changes in how we handle ourselves in our day-to-day interactions with people and how we work our jobs. No, for us, I can almost guarantee you that more people are going to have the ability to work from home in the future for our company. Obviously, we can't broadcast from home. Well, you can, but it's not as good. But I think we're going to have more people doing some of their workday from home moving forward here in radio anyway.
Yeah, and you know what? That has been kind of the norm or the thing that's been happening in the last few years, and we're going to see more of it, I think.
Yeah, because now we know we can do it.
Yeah, it's been tested. we were thrown into the test whether we liked it or not, and it's looking like it's working.
Yeah, so far so good. I mean, it's been a wonder. The highways have been clear. Nobody's out driving. People are doing what they need to do to curb this thing, and they're staying home, which has been it's been great to watch people actually listen and pay attention and do what they need to do.
Exactly, and some of the things that to note, what's happening. I don't know if you heard, but how the bank's been tightening their lending right now due to people being home and people being laid off or fired from their jobs have really scared the banks in this last week. So they've been really tightening up, and it's made it really, really hard. However, saying that, a couple of my buyers got approved and pre-approved, actually no problem, just in the last couple of days. So it's not impossible as well. But the government of Canada just announced they changed their minds on subsidizing employees. I don't know if you heard that. It just came out yesterday. The wage subsidy was previously announced to be 10% of the gross wage paid to an employee, up to a maximum of $13.75 subsidy per employee and $25,000 per employee or employer. And because I'm a personal real estate corporation and I have employees, my financial advisor and accountant sent me the information when it first came out, the 10%. And then yesterday they sent out and said they just announced that the corporate caps and maximums, they don't know. They'll make that announcement on Monday. But they've increased the 10% to 75%. So these are some of the things that the banks now are giving them more confidence in the people who have been laid off or just have lower hours, or they're having a hard time because the employers are having a hard time with it. So additionally, the government also proposed a special 1-year interest-free loan, reportedly up to $40,000 for small businesses. So like the coffee shops, all the small businesses that we rely on, they can have an interest-free loan of up to $40,000 to also just keep the cash flow going and to stay positive, and so that they don't have to close their doors long term. So these are some good things that are happening that was just announced yesterday. So that's good. So the opportunities lie in this type of market with a few things. So you always got to look at the positive of some things, not just the negative, right? Try to look at the glass half full as much as you can and stay positive. So those are some positive things. And right now the market is amazing for cash buyers, of course. I had the 4 closings that I mentioned this week, so they were all completed smoothly. So I just don't want fear to just overwhelm people, because some people are allowing fear to dictate their actions or their non-actions right now with everything that's going on. So try to stay positive, have joy, look at the glass half full, and don't let fear rule you, but just be cautious and be careful and calculate and risk. And but people are predicting a slowdown, depending on how long this COVID-19 and everything state of emergency lasts in BC. I know they released the state of emergency per municipality. Vancouver still has it. I know Harrison Hot Springs still isn't allowing people in. Downtown Cultus Lake area isn't allowing visitors in still. So some municipalities are still choosing that for their own area, but the overall BC is still state of emergency as well. Some people got confused the other day, I saw, about that. But, we still all have to be careful and stay in and do our part. But I wanted to mention, before I go into some real estate things that have changed, so we'll have to do that when we come back from the break, but historically favorable mortgage lending conditions and extreme stock market volatility is making Canadian real estate a real desirable and secure investment right now. So that's why a lot of investors have been pulling out their money from stocks in different areas. They've got all this money and they're wanting to purchase assets, like tangible assets. So real estate, gold, silver, tangible assets. So that's going to be something that we'll see in the next 4 to 8 weeks. I'm predicting that, prices may, we'll see what happens depending on how long this happens. But there's going to be some great opportunities for certain investments and certain people and cash buyers. And the rates are so low still. And we'll get to that when we get back to the break of where they're at right now.
All right. So if people want more information about the services you provide, what can they do?
MichelleCummins.ca.
We're back with more right after this. And we are back with segment number 2 of the Cummins Real Estate Group show with Michelle Cummins and myself, Curtis Pope. Now, before we get right into it, Michelle, I have to ask, what have you been doing to, I know you're a big, Hollywood person, a big movie and TV person with your background in the industry. So what have you been doing? Have you been binge watching anything on Netflix or things like that over the course of the evenings right now?
There was one evening Richard was in the studio working on some song, and I was like, I've got an hour. So I threw on Lock and Key. I think it's on Netflix. It's called Lock and Key. It's a series about this really beautiful, amazing house and all the magical keys that the family that moves in there gets to use, and their last name is Locke. And then I had an hour to spare, but I ended up staying up until I think 2 a.m. because I was enjoying it.
Everybody's talking about that Tiger King series. I haven't jumped into it yet, but I think this weekend, maybe later today or tomorrow, I'm going to sit down and watch this thing that I'm told is so surreal and so bizarre you think it's a mockumentary, but it's actually a documentary.
I heard about that one too. I have no idea though. So
I'm told it's just crazy. Like, you can't believe this is real life.
And Picard series just ended. The last show was on, so I watched that this last week too. Have you been keeping up on that one?
No, I have not got Picard. I don't have Prime or whatever it is that's on, and I don't get the channel it's on, like Sci-Fi or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't get that one yet. I do want to see that. I'm a big Patrick Stewart fan, and I do want to see how this all plays out. So yeah, it's something I got to watch.
I think there's some free channels that they're offering right now during this.
That's true.
Yeah. So check out. Maybe one of those are them.
Yeah, no, that's a good idea. And I just watched the new ZZ Top documentary on Netflix. Any kind of music documentary, I'm a sucker for. So.
Oh, yeah. Going on with our last, I wanted to mention because of the slowdown, and that shows how much busy. I mean, not being able to watch. People are just going Netflix, but my quote of the week is actually be open-minded, not empty-minded. I know a lot of people are going, oh, just binge or just watch or just this or that, and I'm hoping, what I hope is trying to grow. I've been trying to grow, work in my business or on my business and not just in my business as well, which is, reading a lot more, which has been great. Been able to read a lot more. And I love movies. I love watching. I mean, oh gosh. I did watch The Terminator last week too. So that was good. Like the newest Terminator movie. I don't know if you've seen that. That's been good, but trying to take this time to learn more, because the more you learn, the more you earn.
And that's true, and that's one of the things that I have been trying to do, and I keep telling my kids, or they look at me like I'm speaking a different language. As I go, this is a good opportunity to pick up a book or two and read something that you've wanted to read. My our big boss, Jordan Banks, is an amazing guy. He recommended this book called "Why We Sleep: Unlocking the Power of Sleep and Dreams" by Matthew Walker, PhD. And I don't sleep all that well, never have. I've always battled insomnia a little bit, stuff like that. So I've started reading this book. He says it's a life changer. I'm only a couple chapters in, but I can see that there's something there.
Ooh, thanks for sharing that book with me. I haven't heard of that one yet.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. I love it. I'm going to buy that one. I've got, I'm looking at a stack here in my office of only 8 books. I haven't gone through yet. Yeah, just 8.
Yeah.
I need to continue adding. But I wanted to mention, so as we go on, again, as the first segment, not knowing how long this is going to last, but I love reading some good magazines as well, and one of my favorite ones is the Canadian Real Estate Wealth magazine. I subscribe to that one, and of course, Magnolia.
Right.
But so they're predicting in the magazine, their latest one, that commercial will be one of the best investments as businesses, unfortunately, may close, some of them, as they may not be able to pay their rent, and those buildings' value assets will go down if that happens. So depending on how long this goes, we don't know what's going to happen, but that's something to keep an eye out on if you're an investor and you're thinking towards commercial. 4 to 8 weeks, probably start looking at those possibilities, but and maybe to help some of them, support them and partner with them so they can maybe continue running their businesses, but now have a new partner on board that can maybe even make it better and stronger. So that and some other new laws that have affected us lately is not being able to end tenancy. So this just happened to me. In fact, yesterday, we've been negotiating this for quite a few days. But one of my listings, the offer came in before the government changed their rules of not being able to end tenancy right now during this time. And I hear they're putting a cap on what rental increases, that you can't do that starting April 1st, I believe. But, they want vacant possession. Well, when they remove subject and give my seller that written notice to give legal notice to the seller's tenants, my clients, what is legal notice? If the government just changed it to where you can't give notice for so many months, right? So these are some things that we're going through on a day-to-day, hour-by-hour basis of changes and being malleable with it. But, you can put in a subject to, if it's before the offer comes in, obviously now it's here, it's in place. So what I would do is if you get an offer and this buyer wants vacant possession, you put in there subject to your tenant finding a property, because you can't give notice unless your tenancy does a written agreeable, they can still say, yes, okay, we'll leave by 2 months or whenever, but try finding them a place, right? So making sure that they have a home. So you could put it subject to your tenant finding a place if your tenant is okay with that. And that has to be in writing as well. So there are ways to negotiate and try to work it out for everyone to make sure that things can happen. So, so that's one of the changes. Appraisers aren't going into homes anymore. So the banks are actually allowing them to do tabletop appraisals with just a drive-by and a peek through the window. So they're not having to go into the homes anymore. So that's changed. And I wanted to, if the bank, that's right. So CMHC and Genworth insured mortgages. So we all know about the deferral payment up to 6 months. But if you call your bank and they say no, right, you should go then to whoever your insurer is. If it's CMHC, call them. If it's Genworth, call them, because they're the ones who will then be able to support that if you need that, and then the banks will do it. So I always say squeaky wheel gets the grease, but you don't have to just take the no if your bank says no. If you're an insured mortgage, go to your insurers, because they're the ones who will say yes then. And some other recent developments. Okay, so real estate has been deemed an essential service the other day, and so that means that realtors, we have to continue working for our clients' best interest, for their needs on a need basis. As we talked about earlier, they may have sold and they have to buy. And if they have to buy and there's no listings for them to choose from, and if sellers have to transfer because of job transfer, because this pandemic has also opened up different types of jobs for certain people. And people are needing masks made, and people are coming together and doing that. Right now they need a whole bunch of rubber bands, and they're trying to find that. So there's a lot of different placements of things right now. So people, again, need the roof over their head. So we're taking a lot of precautions with safety. And we have, there's these 4 questions that I personally ask before anybody enters. But before they enter, they have to show their pre-approval letter. They have to have not been sick. They can't have been gone away from the country. They've had to drive by the property and have a look at the video. And we offer the Facebook Live. If my clients are there and they're practicing in-home isolation, they will do it. If it's a vacant home, I can do it, or they can go in on their own. I've got a couple new construction properties, so that works. For those types. So there's 50 photos, up to 50 photos, floor plans, Matterport, walkthrough videos, everything is there for them to look at. So that's still happening. Bank of Canada just cut their rates again. Can you believe it?
I was shocked at that.
Yes. Just yesterday morning, the Bank of Canada cut its target rate by half a percentage point to 0.25%. It was totally unscheduled. It was an amazing shock. So that's really great for everyone. And renters, going back to renters, they will be given $500 a month for the next 3 months. And we already talked about evictions are currently banned. But the renters just have to go online, fill out the application, BC Tenancy online, and then the government will actually send the landlord $500 towards their rent. So that's how you do it. Mm-hmm. So they're there to help the renters and help the tenants, landlords as well. So those are the most exciting, largest changes this week that we've seen in the real estate industry. And I just wanted to mention to everyone, if you do have to sell, that I've got a special free moving. Some of your free moving costs I'll pay for if you want to list and have your home marketed through me. You just have to use the code 1071, and I will pay for your moving costs. So I want to mention that. And if you're a buyer absolutely needing to buy and you don't have an agent yet, I will also offer from Gypsy Carpet Cleaning and Deodorizing Services, owned by Rudy, who we've had on the show a couple times. He has a whole sanitizing system which will strip all the impurities and everything out of the home for you, and clean the carpets and clean the house. So I'm offering that to buyers right now as well. I imagine Rudy must be stupid busy right now. I think so. Last time I called him, he was actually doing it, and he sent me a photo, and he's got his whole thing on, like a beekeeper or whatever.
The full hazmat suit?
Yeah, exactly.
So, I imagine he's a pretty busy dude these days, that's for sure. But, he's a good guy, and I know he works hard, so, I know he'll do good work for people.
Yes, he does. He really does. And before we end the show, I wanted to mention, I have 5 new listings this week, and I wanted to mention what they are in case it suits anybody's absolute needs right now. I've got from on Tupper Boulevard in Mission. This home has 4 years left of its new home warranty still on it. It's a beautiful basement entry. And inside it's got like an office area with a full bathroom, which could be like a little in-law or parent or student, or its own private space there. Plus the upstairs has 3 bedrooms. Plus there's a 2-bedroom unauthorized suite downstairs. So it's a 3,200 square foot home, and it's really clean and really beautiful. And it's priced at $898,900. And then I've got a beautiful executive home 20 minutes east of Mission off Hodgkin Road, surrounded by farmland. It's almost 5 acres. It's not all usable because a lot of it's treed in the back, so it gives you just that beautiful treed acreage. And it's the gated entry and the house on the hill type of thing, and this is gorgeous. There's air conditioning. It's just beautiful home, and that one's for $1.399, and it's a large, brand new home. And then I've got one in Maple Ridge, which is pretty fantastical. I love that word. It's a 2-story with a basement, 2-bedroom unauthorized suite again. This one has a separate shop, detached shop, 1,088 square foot shop. And you could actually, I got plans that you could build a carriage house on top of the shop. You're allowed to with the zoning. And so I've actually got renderings and a quote for that if a buyer wanted to build that on this property. But this is it's a half-acre fenced and private lot in Maple Ridge. 5 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms, built in 2002. So it's a great property, and it's priced at $1,425,000. And then I've got this brand new gorgeous place in Harrison Mills, in a little area called, it's a Bearland strata called River Reach Estates, right next to Sandpiper Golf Course, and sort of at the base, very close to Hemlock Ski Mountain. And it's priced only at $728,888. So that's saving you property transfer tax, because any new home construction under $750, you don't pay any property transfer tax. You pay the GST, but no property transfer tax. So it's on almost 7,000 square foot lot, hedged in the back, gorgeous views. One of the garage doors is a high bay door, so you can fit like a boat or RV in there. So that one's gorgeous and it's stunning. And then I've got a new condo. This is the last one right now. A new condo in Abbotsford. It's, the gas town of Fraser Valley, I call it, in Upper Montrose. So it's pre-construction, so this is supposed to complete in August or maybe December. But it's on the 4th floor, facing the courtyard, 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom for only $469,900. So that one's available too.
All right, Michelle. Well, I will let you get back to keeping your husband in line and making sure he's working on that album so he doesn't go out and buy another car.
Thanks, Curtis.
And we will talk to you again next week. You stay safe, all right?
You too. Have a great week, everyone.
And be sure to listen in again next week when we will talk more real estate in order to unlock your real estate potential on a show where real estate is maximized. Thanks for listening.